right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Motown Sports Talk Podcast. I'm your host, Jordan. And of course, this is my co-host, Dalton. How you doing today, Dalton?
Doing mighty fine, mighty fine.
Mighty fine. All right. That's what I like to hear. So, again, first things first, we're sorry it took us a few minutes to get started. We had some technical difficulties, actually. Yeah, we're actually lucky we got up this quick. I thought it'd take a little bit longer, but we got us up and going. Second off, we're sorry we didn't stream last week. Obviously it was Mother's Day. We were celebrating with our moms. Hope everyone else did too. It's kind of a low time in news anyways regarding the Lions. Let me just fix this a little bit. All
And
right.
since we knew that the schedule was being released, we figured we'll just wait till the schedule is released so then we can talk about the schedule and the stuff we were going to talk about last week too.
Yeah,
So
exactly. We wanted to wait a little bit. And then one more thing I want to get out of the way. I want to give a little shout out to the New York Knicks. They have won me a lot of money this year, so I have become a big fan this year. Breakout team out of nowhere. And obviously, as Lions fans, it's fun to always see teams that have struggled for a long time. I don't think they've made the playoffs since 2012 or 2012, 2013. So somewhere around there. So again, it's good to see them make the playoffs and be good again. I have a RJ Barrett jersey here, nice young up and coming star who I think he's going to be great in New York for a long time to come out of Duke. So I'm excited.
and if you guys are frequent watchers of ours, normally I'm the one wearing basketball jerseys, and today I'm not. So
Yeah, which I'm surprised. I thought you would be. So all
I
right,
got I got Derrick Rose behind me, so we're good.
yeah, who doesn't? Who now plays for my New York Knicks? All right. Well, this is not a basketball podcast. I mean, sometimes a basketball podcast, but with season ending playoffs, obviously the Pistons did not make the playoffs. The Knicks did. They got the fourth seed. So as of right now, I think they're going to be playing.
The Atlanta Hawks.
Yes, the Hawks. As of right now, if they win, and the Heat continue to win, yeah, it doesn't matter. Either way, Pistons are not in the playoffs. Um, So we'll kind of
Going for that
obviously,
first overall pick, baby.
yeah, we'll talk a little bit more when it gets closer to the draft lottery and who they might take. So obviously, we'll just focus on the Lions right now. First things first, we will discuss the schedule release. So let's bring that up real quick. And obviously, we start week one against San Francisco at home, 1 p.m. game on Fox. Pretty excited about that. Um, that's honestly a winnable game. Again, depending on who they go with. If they go with Trey Lance out there or Jimmy Garoppolo. I did see a highlight today from their cornerback, though, who got a pick six in practice for rookie training camp. And I'm pretty sure it was Trey Lance because it's rookie training camp, obviously. So I'm pretty sure he was the one who threw that ball. So again, I don't know if that was just a corner who read the route really well or Trey Lance who just had a really terrible throw. Either way, he's just getting out there. He's just getting started. So we have a long time till the season starts. But
That will also be a good test for our offensive line, saying that they're going to
yeah,
have to deal with Nick Bosa.
and what's his name? The other guy on the other side. I can't think of his name, but damn, I can't think of it right now. But they got a great defensive line all around. Yeah, Nick Bosa and I don't. I can picture his face. I don't know why his name's not coming to me right now. But
I can't
anyways,
think of it either.
yeah. Moving on. So we have week two. We got Monday Night Football against Green Bay in Green Bay. So pretty happy about that. Happy we don't have to go late in the season to Green Bay, but we do have
And
some
the
other
world
games.
gets to see Motor City Dan Campbell on primetime football week 2, baby.
Mm-hmm. So, and I don't know, obviously, I don't think the NFL knows if Aaron Rodgers is going to be in Green Bay or not. So, I'm assuming they thought Aaron Rodgers is going to be there. That's why it's a divisional game, blah, blah, blah. So,
They have 5 primetimes games this year.
the Packers do? Jeez. So,
But the last 2 are at the end of the season where it's the can be changed.
yeah, the flex scheduling.
So, if obviously in the beginning of the season those primetime games are Aaron Rodgers might be there, so it's primetime obviously. And if he's not, then it's primetime to see what's Jordan Love. There we go. I couldn't think of his name for some reason. I just drew a blank. So it'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, and then after that, we have the Ravens, the Bears, the Vikings, and the Bengals. So we have two AFC North opponents and two NFC North opponents. Obviously, we play the Bears and Vikings every year. We still don't really know what's going to happen with either one of those teams. Obviously, we know the Bears' defense is really good. The Vikings, we know their offense is pretty good, obviously, with Justin Jefferson and Kyle Rudolph,
And they're
Dalvin
getting
Cook.
their defensive players back. So
Yeah,
I
all the
think
guys who opted out and got hurt last year,
yeah,
so their defense is going to be back to like it has been the last couple of years
I
before.
I think honestly it's gonna be a bad year for us Lions fans because I think Green Bay, if Aaron Rodgers stays, Green Bay is gonna be probably the
Yeah,
same way they were last year. I think Minnesota's taking a jump, and I think they're going to be a better team in the league. I definitely think they're making playoffs. And then for the Bears, too, if Justin Fields comes in and plays start a week, like
hmm
start of the season, or if he comes in, he's might make them really good, too. And a very scary mobile quarterback with their
yeah,
defense. That's
because they do still
so,
have Allen Robinson on the squad as well. They franchise tagged him, didn't they? Yeah,
yes.
I believe so. I don't think they've extended it yet, and that's why he was frustrated early and said he wasn't going to report. But I'm pretty sure he's going to have to because it's way too much of a big fine now to not report to training camp. So they still do have Allen Robinson, and their defense is going to be good no matter what. They still have Khalil Mack. They still have Robert Quinn, who they just signed last offseason. So it's going to be, you're right, it's going to be a tough division. And like I said, we do have to play the entire AFC North, too, as I just alluded to with the Ravens and the Bengals. Because the
And the
Ravens,
NFC West.
yeah. So, like I said, the Ravens are going to be a tough thing. Luckily it's in Detroit, so that does help us a little bit. But again, if we're trying to play Lamar Jackson and we got this young defense out there, I don't know if they're going to be able to keep up with him. And same thing with the Bengals. I mean, obviously they didn't do that good last year, but Joe Burrow was out
If
most of the
our
year.
defensive line will be good, then we'll be fine.
Yeah,
Because they didn't get protection for Joe Burrow, so just put our best corner on
Jamar
um,
Chase.
Jamar Chase, maybe put a safety help over top, and
They also
just
have Tyler Boyd
blitz.
and Joe Mixon though too. So I mean, they do have a pretty decent offense there. That's the thing. If everyone can stay healthy, it's going to be hard to cover all those guys. So
Well, I say blitz a lot on that offensive line.
all right, and then the next week we have the Rams, which is obviously going to be a huge game. I
I was so very surprised that that game was not nationally televised.
I think it can still get flexed, and it is a 4:05 game, so it might end up being that America's game of the week that is nationally televised, like the 4 p.m. nationally televised.
Yeah,
So it's
the
not, yeah, so it's not like national attention, but still like it's a highlighted game by the NFL, and it could get
because
flexed, but
because having Stafford versus his old team and Jared Goff versus his I just felt like that game 100% was gonna be like a Sunday night game. Like I just before they released the schedule, I had already thought that in my head myself. But
yeah, you'd think so. But then we have the Eagles, and then the Steelers, the Browns, the Bears, and Vikings again. Which again, this is going into late November, early December. We have the Bears on Thanksgiving again. Um,
like always, don't know
mhm.
why we always have to verse the Bears on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, so again, this is where it does start. We do start traveling late in the season when it could be cold. We do, again, go to Pittsburgh November 14th. It might not be snowy, but you never know. Middle of November could possibly have a deep snow or get pretty cold over there. Then the next week, we again go to Cleveland. November 21st, outdoor game could be pretty cold and snowy as well. And then home the next two games against the Bears and Vikings again. Then we travel to Denver in December 12th could be probably
Even
very
versus the
cold.
Cardinals.
The next week, which is at
Okay,
home. Yeah.
that's we versed the Cardinals for like the past like 6, 7 years.
Yeah, I know it's crazy. They should just be added into the NFC North at this point. I don't know why, but yeah, somehow in the weird scheduling rotation, we end up playing the Cardinals, it seems like every single year.
Did you see the NFL video that they released about how the schedules are made?
Uh, Not exactly. I know kind of somehow the rotation goes with playing different divisions, like different AFC
I'll I'll
divisions.
have to
And
send you the video. Like they actually go into depth about how they. It's actually a
yeah,
really cool
yeah, it's pretty cool.
video.
I'd
If
like,
you guys haven't checked it out, I would definitely go check it. I think it's on the NFL's, just the NFL network
cool.
or
Or we'll
something.
just retweet it
YouTube.
out from our Twitter so everyone who's following us on Twitter can find it easily that way as well. So,
Sure.
much easier way. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, like I said, rounding out December, basically, we go to Denver December 12th. The next week, we have the Cardinals in Detroit, so we're not traveling, but then we do travel down to Atlanta the following week, and then we also travel to Seattle January 2nd. That is going to be probably a cold game as well. And then the last game of the season, obviously, we have the Packers in here in Detroit. So it's going to be
So
interesting.
we're still versing Green Bay the last season or the last week of the season. Still, this
Yep.
time it's just instead of Lambeau, it's in Detroit.
Yeah, thank God. Like I said, it's not ice cold Lambeau Field, but we do have a lot of other games, cold games on the schedule as well.
Was it last year or the year before last year that we played Green Bay in Lambeau Week 2 on Monday night?
I think it was 2 weeks ago, yeah. Or yeah,
Yeah.
2 years ago, 2 weeks ago. 2 years ago, yeah.
I just feel like the schedules repeat themselves so much.
It is. I mean, when obviously you've been a fan as long as we have and they just kind of rotate through, it just seems like, oh, we play these teams all the time. But obviously, except for like the Steelers or the Browns, like AFC opponents like that. But yeah, especially division games, they play them all the time. We play them 2 times a year, so it's just gonna seem to rotate like that. I don't know. I'm not gonna give out a win loss thing. I do think, like just looking at it, I think it's possible we could end around 500. Obviously, you can't end at 500 anymore because
You really think we're gonna end around that?
I think it's possible. Again, this is why I don't like giving out win-loss predictions because you have no idea how any of these teams go down. Like for the Browns,
I'm gonna say 7-10. That's my prediction.
yeah, that's a fair assessment. But like I
7
said,
and
if you
10, I
take the
think, will
Browns
be
and
a-
take Baker Mayfield, if he goes down, like even with Nick Chubb, Odell Beckham, they're still not going to be the same team without him. And like the Bengals, you don't know how they're going to be. The Eagles, they could come out and be super hot, even though you think they're going to be an easy team. You don't know. Like you don't know how any of these teams are going to perform this year. So
My early projections right now is what I say 9 and
7-10,
7.
7-10. You already forgot what you said.
Yeah, 7-10. It just throws me off adding that extra game. Too bad Jim Caldwell isn't the coach anymore. He can't go 9-7 anymore.
Oh my god. Anyways, yeah, I'll wait.
Sorry,
till,
Jim. Didn't mean to throw you under the bus there, but
I'll wait till closer to training camp to give out my predictions. See kind of.
you got to give us an early prediction just as of right now, and then once we get to training camp, we'll do an updated prediction.
I said close to
Right
500,
before the season.
so I guess that'd be 8 and 9.
Okay, that works for me.
I guess that's what I'm saying right now, and it's probably what I'll end up saying around training camp too. So, and depending how the NFC North goes, again, we all keep saying if Aaron Rodgers is here, if Aaron Rodgers is here, I have a feeling he's gonna be here. I have a feeling he's gonna be in Green Bay. Nothing's gonna change.
I don't think so.
You don't? Think
If
he's
Green
gonna
Bay if Green Bay doesn't trade him, he's not gonna play, and he's just gonna retire.
I don't know.
He wants out of Green Bay, and he's seen quarterbacks like Matthew Stafford want out, and the team gave it to him.
It's all just for show, I think. But anyways, we'll move on. Like I said, we'll give more predictions later on closer to training camp. But the schedule is officially released. And also, bye week is week 9, I think it is.
Like always.
Yeah, it's not like always. The last couple of years, we've had it earlier in the season, and that's what I hated. The last 2 weeks or years, I think last year was week 5 or 6, and then the week before that was week 4. Like the first week you could have bye weeks. So I'm so tired of having them so early in the season. So it's nice to have it right in the middle when players actually, like, I'm assuming they would prefer it right in the middle when they need a break, but who knows?
I'm just saying, I watched the thing that said every Super Bowl winner has gone their bye week was a week later every year. And because this year the season got extended, there's going to be week 14 buys. Oh, who was it? I forget who they said was going to be the Super Bowl champ because they have a week 14 bye. Oh,
I
I
don't know.
can't think of it right now, but it was a video on every Super Bowl champ the past like couple years. It's literally gone from like a week 9, week 10, week 11, week 12, week 13 bye. Like every year it's gone the next week bye to win a
Yeah.
championship. So,
Well, it makes sense that, like I said, having a bye week later in the season would help you because that's obviously when most players are not healthy, they're struggling or with anything, any type of pain or
the Super
alignment.
Bowl's in LA, right? Yes.
Yes.
Stafford going to the Super Bowl in LA in their home stadium.
I don't know. That's a long shot, but
Hey, Tom Brady just did it with Tampa Bay.
yeah, I don't know. Matthew Stafford's not Tom Brady, dude.
No, but I think that Rams team's better than that Buccaneers team with Stafford.
Are you kidding me?
I would put money on it. I would put money that that Rams team is better than that Tampa Bay team.
So, all right, we've got this recording right now. You want to place a bet that the Rams will have more wins than the Buccaneers this year?
I'm not saying that right now because I want to check out both team schedules, but let me next episode we'll talk about that bet. I want to look
Alright.
at both team schedules because if Tampa Bay has like one of the easiest, like they're versing the NFC East, I'm not gonna take them. Like that's a
Well,
terrible
I
bet.
think last I looked at the according strength of schedule, the Buccaneers have one of the easiest schedules supposedly. So
Yeah, so I don't know if I'm taking that bet or not, but
I
we'll
don't
see
know.
in the next
Like I
episode.
said, I think talent-wise, the Buccaneers all around defense and offense are better than the Rams all around. The Rams do have some really good pieces, but I think the Buccaneers team is a way better team all around.
Don Burr is in the chat.
Hey,
Rams won't
yeah.
win more than 9 games? No,
See, he
no,
agrees with me. But
no. They're no. That's not gonna happen with Stafford at the helm.
I don't know. But I do also agree with you, Don, that the post June 1st cuts or what designated cuts or whatever they have in the contract after June 1st, there's going to be so many players cut. And like I said, with the um, salary cap going down, I think there's going to be a lot of not big name, but those kind of like mid-range players that are like the names you know, but they're not top level to where they're like, okay, we can't live without this guy. So I think we're going to see a lot of mid-range type players get cut this year.
And I also think a lot of the players that are still left in free agency and stuff are gonna take like small deals just to be on a team because there's still some big names out there in free agency.
Oh yeah, and I watch for anyone from the Rams or the Saints or who else do we have previously? That's pretty much it. I think with Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes previously from LA, any players from there that get cut, that they're probably going to be looking at them just because they know them so well. And again, like you said, they might probably be willing to come and play for them here in Detroit because they know them so well as head coaches. But moving on, we'll get into what this whole episode is about, and that's rookie mini camp going on right now. And from all I've heard, it seems like great things so far. Like Dan Campbell has had nothing but praise for everyone. Like he says, there's no one he doesn't like. Even the players he's brought in to try out have looked amazing. Like he said, everyone is.
And one of the safeties got a deal from one of the they brought him in for a tryout and he got a deal. I
Yeah,
forget it.
him
Oh,
and a tight
from
end
Denver.
too.
Yeah, the safety's from Denver. Oh, I can't think of his name.
Wide receivers, yeah, we definitely, like I said, that's somewhere. I was just talking to somebody today about that. That wide receivers are something we're definitely going to need to target and bring in during training camp. Is some more training camp wide receivers and see what's going on. But also, what's his name? Amon St. Brown. They said that he's been looking really good today as well. The last couple of days.
I watched
anyways.
their Instagram video that they posted of the highlights, and those highlights were pretty nice for obviously rookie mini camp, but still.
Hmm.
Obviously, Penei Sewell is not at rookie mini camps
Yeah, obviously
because
he tested
he tested
positive.
positive for COVID.
That's correct. Um, Unfortunately, he's not participating, but Dan Campbell did say that he's still participating in Zoom meetings and he's getting all of the fundamentals and he's getting the formations, the stuff he's supposed to be learning. He's getting that and he is studying. He's just not actually there physically practicing. But they said they're hoping to have him sometime this week, midweek or late week. I think that he'll be coming back. So obviously, as long as all the tests come back negative. So, but let's see. We signed safety
Holder.
and tight end.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that's what I thought. I knew we signed a tight end. I saw that.
I was gonna say Holder, yeah. I just couldn't think of his name, but I knew he was a safety from Denver, so which
Wait,
doesn't kind of throws me off because they're supposed to be rookies, so I don't know how he played for Denver last season.
maybe he was just on their rookie. I don't know. But moving on. Also, one thing Amon St. Brown said in his interviews that he knows the name of all 15 wide receivers drafted ahead of him. So I think he's pissed.
Love it.
Yeah,
I mean, this man's went and worked out at whatever time it was after the second round because he didn't get drafted.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said,
Of course he's gonna know. He probably, if I was him, I would have that list printed on his gym, his wherever he works out. I would have that just printed and just hanging. So anytime you're working out, anytime you're doing anything, you just look at that list and every wide receiver taken in front of you, you're like, all right, better than him. I'm gonna go and show these people that I should have been that number one wide receiver taken off the board. I'm like, I absolutely love it.
Like I said, he's just showing tons of fire, and I'm loving it. I think he's gonna work out, and he's gonna work harder than all the other wide receivers on the team and in the league. I think so. We'll see.
This team is definitely going to be biting kneecaps. That is the one thing I can say for sure. Everyone that we have brought in, they're fiery. They're like,
I love that this meme is just kept going, and I hope it just keeps going through the whole Dan Campbell era.
Oh, it will definitely 100%.
I hope
one player that I think would be kind of fun to have with Dan Campbell is Ndamukong Suh, just because he fits that. He fits that scheme, biting kneecaps.
Yeah,
like
he already
Sue would have fit. I know.
He's going
Tampa
back
Bay.
to
Which I mean, you get a chance to play with Tom Brady and try to win back to back, or go to Detroit. That's a rebuilding situation.
Yeah, where he.
But Sue did give high praise to Dan Campbell.
Yeah, and
so
wasn't it him who called one of our rookie? Yeah, it was Goff.
Yeah,
after he got traded and was talking
Goff about Detroit and told him if he needs a house or something, let him know and he get him a hold of a guy and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I could definitely see Sue possibly coming back to us next year or something.
I don't see it. He's got too bad of a reputation here in Detroit. So. But yeah. Also. Rumors flying around. Terrell Crosby was supposedly on the trading block earlier this week. Not sure if they were intentionally calling around. I think he is on the last year of his contract, and I believe that's why they're kind of just reaching out.
And he's also a tackle, and obviously with Penei Sewell and Taylor Decker, they're like, we don't really need another tackle.
And if you can get something for him, like a third, fourth round pick, and like I said, and just let him walk, because obviously we've paid Ragnow, we've paid Decker, and obviously we just drafted Penei Sewell, so we're probably not going to give him a huge contract, and he can probably get more on the market. So that's why we're like, let's just trade him now and get something for him while we can, and instead of just letting him walk for nothing, which it does suck because he's been a great player. He's been a huge hype man since he came here. He's been one of my favorite players since we drafted him, but he's never really been obviously a solidified starter. He's always just kind of been that plug and play type of guy.
Yeah, there's an injury. All right, throw him in.
Yeah. I'm Live Detroit Lions video, guys. When you get a chance, it's a good watch. Yeah, I'll have to watch it. I haven't seen, like I said, I haven't really been on the internet or checked any news out. I watched a little bit of the press conference earlier this morning, but that's all I really saw. I haven't checked anything else, so I'll be sure to check it out.
Yeah, I've been working so much. I haven't really got a chance. I wanted to watch. I saw the press conference and I wanted to watch it, but I just never got a chance to get around to it till after
Yeah.
this. So I'll probably go watch it after the podcast.
Yeah, so like I said, I definitely do see Crosby being dealt before the season begins, at least, probably maybe through training camp again. Also, a couple other players that are on the last year of their contract from the Matt Patricia era are Terrell Crosby, Deshaun Hand, Nick Williams, and Tracy Walker. So I guess it's yet to see if we extend any of those guys. Deshaun Hand, I would like to see him extended, but again, it's going to have to deal with his health.
I was gonna say, yeah, he needs to stay healthy and be productive this season to get an extension. And then same with Tracy. I need to see improvement and consistency with him to warrant him getting a
Yeah, he's
deal. I definitely would think Tracy would get a deal before Deshaun just because
you've seen the improvement in Tracy Walker from year to year. If obviously
just last year he didn't get that consistent. It was kind of like, here, there,
and he'd be the first to admit it. He even said when the season ended, he's like, I didn't have my best year, and I'm gonna work harder. I'm gonna watch all the film on me and see what I can improve on. So again, he knows that he did not have his best year. He knows I'm assuming he knows what he can improve on and what he did wrong and stuff like that. So I think, again, like you said, and again, if you're a Lions fan, you've watched every single game like we have. You've literally seen the progression of him, like up to the player he is now, and from his rookie year till again, he regressed a little last year, but before that, like
I was gonna say he definitely had a sophomore slump, but I'm not necessarily blaming that on him at all. Because I definitely think Patricia and their whole coaching staff just was not the best, especially with DBs, saying that Jeff Okudah in his press conference, they were asking him, and he was saying already with our new coaching staff, like he already got a whole bunch of new stuff that he's learned from this new coaching staff that he should have gotten from the last coaching staff going into his rookie season. So a slight shot at Matt Patricia and his coaching staff, but also praise for Dan Campbell and his coaching staff. So I'm excited to see our DBs this year, especially saying Awarrior, his big jump he took last year with obviously not that good of a secondary coach. So to see him even improve with a better secondary coach, I think it's going to be a good year for our DBs.
I mean, he was just kind of thrown out there last year because Trufant and Okudah were both hurt most of the year, so Awarrior was kind of thrown into guarding the number one wide receiver. So again,
you're our best guy. You're all we got. Go get him.
Exactly. Again, when you're stuck with that situation, which I know we kind of played some zone and some man, we switched it up, so he wasn't always shadowing the number one receiver. But still, when he was the best guy we have guarding their best guy, it ain't easy guarding one of those elite wide receivers. So
especially in like our division with say Davante Adams twice a year, Justin Jefferson twice a year, and Adam Thielen twice a year, with then Chicago having Allen Robinson twice a year. It's not an easy division to play cornerback in because you have to verse those guys twice a year already.
Exactly.
And then like we verse Arizona, D-Hop. We verse the Rams, which have 3 talented wide receivers.
Yeah.
We verse the Steelers, 2 talented wide receivers. Like, we have to verse all these teams with great wide receivers this year, so I'm very excited to see our defensive backs this year.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think we're going to be getting ready to call it here. So, again, we appreciate everyone tuning in. Don, we appreciate you. Anyone else who's got any questions or anything want to ask us, let us know. Drop them in there before we hop off. Is there anything else you've kind of noticed about training camp? Anything you've seen? Any other videos or highlights you saw lately that you wanted to comment
on? Pro Football Focus did a mock draft however long ago, and they did predict us to draft McNeil, so kudos to them. Yeah, so kudos to them for predicting one of our draft picks.
Yeah, I think it was him. Wasn't it him who the Eagles wanted to get or whatever, and they were the video came out of them after we traded up to get him, and he said he saw that video, and he was like, "I'm just happy that I'm a Lion. I don't think that was really about me, but clearly it was." So, but
I I love this draft class compared to a Bob Quinn draft class. I like this draft class a lot, and that's the bad thing too, is because we're just basically Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes. Ultimately, every time we compare them to somebody, it's going to be compared to Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn.
well, obviously because it's everything is what have you done for me lately, and the last results we have, the last draft we have, the last everything is Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn. So that's immediately what we're going to compare it to.
And it's not that hard to be better than them.
Yeah, like I alluded to at the beginning of the episode, when we first started this, I like so far I just love, and again, I might be a naive Lions fan just saying this optimistic bias, but I love everything, and it's so weird. And again, I was talking to somebody just today about this. Like, it just feels so different, other than every hire, even the Jim Caldwell hire, the Matt Patricia hire, the Bob Quinn, like it just feels different. Like we're bringing in different people. Like Sheila Ford feels like she's bringing a different energy. And same thing when you watch these Dan Campbell interviews. Like you literally, like you can't not like the
It's
guy.
transparency too,
Yeah,
because
that's
are so used to Jim Caldwell. That was, oh, look at the injury report, like just again being secretive. Not Matt Patricia,
exactly.
very short, very just nothing. You didn't get anything out of him.
Mm-hmm.
Even Bob Quinn, you barely got anything out of him.
Exactly.
And then you get Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes that are just open to talking about anything and everything and tell you everything they thought of and went through. And it's just such an amazing feeling, and it gives at least me a lot of hope for the future going forward.
Yeah, I agree. What's up, Micro Mike? I appreciate you stopping by. It does feel different. Yes, that's what we were just talking about. It's from all the hires, even when we went from Matt Millen to Martin Mayhew, and that whole transition from the O, and we finally made it to the playoffs, and it's like that was such a good relief. And then we fire him, and we go with Jim Caldwell, and it's like we're finally starting to get good. And it's like even then, like yeah, it was fun and it was exhilarating, but it's like it just feels so different. And like you were talking with the transparency, it's like no matter how much, even if you don't want to like Dan Campbell, like you can't like just watching his interview.
Motor City Dan Campbell, baby. Pat McAfee.
Exactly. And like I said, when you just watch like his interview from today, like he's just straight, he's just a straight shooter. Like he literally just tells you exactly how it is, and like he'll answer any single question you have. Obviously he's not going to say what like exactly their play scheme or what they're doing, but he's just going to allude to it and just shoot you straight. Basically that's it. And I love it. Like you said, you can't not like the guy. Transparency is so refreshing. Yes, like I said, even going back to Jim Swartz, like he was kind of the same way. Like the last three coaches we've had have all just kind of been like that. Like you were talking about Dalton, the ho hum, oh look at the injury report, oh blah blah blah, oh just watch us in training camp, like it's like no, none of them have been like just this cool, I guess.
Even Matthew Stafford compared to Jared Goff too, because Stafford was the same way. Stafford just was. And then, like, talking to Jared Goff, like, Jared Goff's talked about stuff and, like, opened up and been transparent and, like, talked about when he worked out with the wide receivers, like, what he worked on, even though it wasn't too specific. Mm-hmm. But he told him, like, we were trying to figure out what I was trying to figure out what they liked. They were trying to figure out what I liked. So, like, when we get to the field and get to actually training and stuff, I know where they like the balls placed. They know how I like them. Like, it's just so refreshing to hear and to just see all of that and to actually like get insight on the organization. It's just amazing. It's an amazing feeling that like they care for us and they're like, all right guys, this time is different.
And that's like I said, we've talked about it too when Dan Campbell was hired. He has been here. He played for the city. He was on the 0-16 Lions. So he's literally he was here when we were at the absolute worst. He knows what it's like. And now to see, like I said, to have him just to be a part of the city and know what it's like to be on that losing side, to want to revitalize and bring just some support, some enthusiasm for the fans to actually have something to want to cheer on. Stafford was dull when talking to the media, and Goff is the opposite. Yeah, I agree. Like I said, that's Matthew Stafford was just like, I think, and again, he learned it from his coaches, because you can't have your head coach say, oh, nothing, and then have your quarterback come out and say everything and like, oh yeah, we're doing this. So yeah, this on my hand really fucking sucks, dude. I'm fucked up. But like, I don't know, you can't have him come out and say that after your head coach. So I understand he probably learned it from the coaches and stuff, and who knows, maybe seeing him in, I'll be honest, I haven't watched any interviews or anything with Stafford since he's gone to LA. So he might be different. He might be like completely open now in LA and doing interviews. I don't know. I haven't seen him, but like I said, it's all just
I just think that was Stafford's personality, because he's already not a social media guy. He has no social medias.
I agree.
So I just kind of already think that was just Stafford's personality.
I completely agree. No strategic advantage for not being transparent. It's just annoying. Exactly. I completely agree. Like, I don't really think, maybe some GMs do have time, but I don't think GMs or head coaches have time to go through and watch. I mean, like every head coach's interviews. I know they got to watch their opponent's interviews and see who's hurt, who's this and that. But again, like you said, you don't really get that much of an advantage. You're not going to say, oh yeah, we're really working on getting our cover 2 against Julio this week or whatever. It's just, they know they're going to have to cover Julio. They know they're going to have to cover Kyle Pitts. Like, they know that's who they're going to be focusing on. Like, and I feel that's another thing too. I feel like the media just kind of asks stupid questions. And again, I'm sure it's just their bosses like, hey, we need this information, try to ask this or whatever. But sometimes I feel like the questions they ask are just really stupid.
I love watching the highlight like YouTube videos of athletes getting asked like ridiculous dumb questions, because their reactions are priceless. And it's like, even like just sitting there, like me as a sports fan, like, dude, come on, what, like, that's the question you ask?
Yeah, like I feel like
me being a sports fan, if I met this player, like, ain't no way, that's not even in the back of my mind, like even 1.001%. That question's no. Not even close to being asked.
Right. I mean, they talk to these players like every single day, so they do kind of get used to talking to them, and they get to know them and all that stuff. So they do kind of feel comfortable asking stupid questions, but still, it's like, I don't know. Media is so trash. Carlos is the worst. Yes, I know who you're talking about. The one reporter, it's not the Detroit Free Press, is it? I can't remember who it's for. I know it's not M Live.
But I think it might be Free Press.
Yeah, I think it is the Detroit Free Press. Yeah, he is just terrible. All he does is talk negative about the Lions. Like, it's so
I like
annoying.
the new ESPN reporter.
Yes.
Eric. I really like him.
I hated Michael Rothstein, or if that's how you say his name. I hated him. I hated his writing style, his voice, watching him on videos. Just something about him. I haven't liked him for a long, long, long time. So this new guy, I forget his name. I'm sorry. I apologize, but
it's Eric something.
Yes, but yeah, I've seen his tweets. I've seen him on Twitter. I've seen some of the videos with him. I'm really enjoying his stuff already. He's way better.
Shout out new Lions beat writer for ESPN, Eric. We appreciate you.
Yes, he is so much better. And then also, what's his name? Mike Valenti on 97.1 The Ticket. I don't even listen to them anymore because all they do is trash the Lions. Like, it's so annoying.
That's why these YouTube podcasts and everyone is good, because we get to voice our opinions. We get to say what we want. And we're actual fans, and we don't just, oh, the Lions lost the first week of the season, fire everybody, get rid of everyone, they're trash. Like, no, that's not, you can't do that.
Exactly. They've literally talked about we basically did start over, and go from scratch, and we haven't really been successful. So their criticism is warranted. I will give them that. But it's like, even when we were good, they've always talked trash about Stafford. They suck. But Micro Mike says, yeah, Carlos is from the Free Press. So that's what I thought. They need to get somebody else in there because I don't understand how he still has a job. I feel like everyone on Twitter always just talks shit about him, but he somehow still has a job. Maybe that's what they want. Maybe the Free Press is telling him. That's another thing too. A lot of people forget. Again, like I've had some. I'm not obviously a professional writer or anything, but I had a couple of writing jobs, and it's like you have a creative director, and they kind of tell you a certain direction to go with your article. So sometimes these people could just be being told to write like this, or like I said with the coaches, players could be told to answer stupid questions like that. So you never know. It might not be them. Might just be how they're being told. But still, if that's how Carlos feels and that's how he writes, like that's his own feelings, then he needs to be gone.
Bye-bye, Carlos.
Mike says he could be a heel. Yeah, exactly. But all right, yeah, I think we're getting ready to call it. Is there anything else you wanted to mention? There's not really anything else this week that happened that we can talk about that I can remember. I can cover everything.
I do want to say good luck to every team in the NBA playoffs.
Yes, congrats.
This is going to be a very exciting season, NBA playoffs. I think it's going to be a really good
Did the Hawks
year for the playoffs.
Did the Hawks win? Because I was really hoping that the Knicks would have to face the Heat because
the Heat already had the 6th seed locked up.
Dang it.
Before the games even started.
Oh.
Because we would have, even if they lost and the Heat won, they would have been tied, and the Hawks own the tiebreaker over us. So.
Yeah, because I'm a huge Knicks fan. He's a huge Heat fan. So if somehow
obviously, as we all know,
and if we somehow end up playing in the playoffs, I think that'd be
now it's gonna have to be the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, I guess so.
With us being the 6th seed and you guys being the 4 seed.
Yeah, you're right. But
yeah,
that's all right. So we'll see again. Congratulations to all the NBA playoff teams, and hope. Excited to see what you do. Hopefully the Pistons will be there next year. And if everyone can stay healthy and these rookies can step up. But Mike says, have a good night, fellas. Thank you, man. Hope you have a good night, too. Thank you for stopping by. And Don as well. Appreciate you stopping by. Hope you have a good night. And we will be back next Sunday for sure, 8:30 p.m. as always, Eastern